I want to talk to you about a real estate lawyer, and this is a podcast, a sex story, and also a legal YouTube channel that's been very, very, very successful. And I want to first talk to you about Tiffany Weber. So this is the host, and I want to give you a little bit about her background, her credentials. What I want to do is I want to explain to you why this is a very successful lawyer, number one, and also very successful podcaster number two. Okay. So let's first talk about Tiffany Weber, Tiffany Weber's bio here. So Tiffany Weber is actually a licensed real estate attorney based in Mooresville, North Carolina, focused on both residential and commercial transactions. Okay, so she does both. Okay, so she does B2C, but also B2B, and in some cases she also does C2C. So when two individuals are selling to each other. Okay, so this is kind of cool, and on her channel, you will get fun tips on residential real estate closings, commercial real estate closings, and what it is like running a law firm in the first place. Okay, so what I love about Tiffany Weber is that she provides real world legal insights directly from her daily practice, translating complex legal issues into actionable, understandable advice for her clients, realtors, and investors. She's not using she's really careful about not using legal lingo. Okay, so when she talks, you can understand what she's talking about. She speaks in plain English, so that's really good. Okay, and what I love about Tiffany is that she found her way to the practice of law while working in the top performing channel of a global corporation, and attended law school at night while increasing her knowledge of complex commercial issues through hands-on experience during the day. Okay, so her corporate experience gives her an operational perspective as she focuses on closing your real estate transaction or even helping you form, buy, and sell businesses. Okay. She also has experience with local zoning and land use regulations. So this is really fantastic. You have a very well balanced attorney here and creator here. So this is really good. And you could learn a lot from her channel. So in terms of practice areas, you have commercial real estate, residential real estate, land use and zoning regulations, business formation, basic estate planning. Okay. And she actually graduated from law school in 2016. So that's something. She's relatively young. She's really young. As a matter of fact, she was awarded the Super Lawyers Rising Star accolade in 2023. So we're still talking about the real estate lawyer here, and I want to really talk now about her YouTube content. Fantastic has been very popular for the last few years. Okay, and right now she has about between 80 and 85,000 subs, which is really, I would say awesome because her channel is relatively young. Okay. But the cool thing about her channel is that she's pretty active. She's pretty consistent too. So she has, for instance, on her YouTube channel, she has educational video series and interviews where she explores topics like realtor versus real estate attorney, clarifying the distinct roles and why legal counsel matters. That's really good. But also those educational video series and interviews actually include interviews with experts and fellow attorneys to dissect common legal challenges in property transactions. Okay. And on top of that, you also have real world scenarios and how to guides. So this is another feature that you have if you go to Tiffany Weber's YouTube content. Okay. And so this series actually walk viewers through actual closing processes. So here, Tiffany is really getting to the nitty gritty, explaining to you step by step the actual closing process, title issues, contract reviews, inspections, and deal pitfalls. And she provides also practical advice for agents, attorneys, and buyers navigating clause negotiations and due diligence, especially for significant transactions. Okay, and so if you look at Tiffany Weber's YouTube channel, the channel is mainly geared toward home buyers, real estate agents, brokers, investors, and legal practitioners seeking accessible, reliable legal insights. Okay, and this type of content, when you really think about it, stands out because the legal content is grounded in day-to-day practice. Here you have unbiased, clear breakdowns of legal terminology. For example, you have contingencies, encumbrances, easements, all that kind of stuff. You also have engaging, bite-sized content that's paired with deep dive interviews. Fantastic. So, if you think about Tiffany Weber's content, there are some representative topics. For example, I think I just told you, like realtor versus attorney, like when you need legal counsel versus real estate guidance, for instance, or contract essentials. So what you should watch for in purchase agreements, for example, inspection contingencies, closing realities, so the final steps, the cost, the title issues, and unexpected hurdles, okay? And you also have case studies and litigation. So here you have real legal cases shared with lessons for viewers. So the whole idea here is for you to understand how how the closing transactions work, how the B2B or B2C or C2C real estate transactions actually work. And this kind of content is really valuable because of credibility and transparency, and also clarity and complexity, and also the relevance. Okay. So when I say credibility and transparency, what I'm really talking about is that the advice reflects a practicing attorney's first-hand experience. She's not speaking out of theory, like out of textbooks, like textbook theories. No, she's talking about day-to-day actions that are happening in her own practice, and she's able to simplify terminology and processes into actionable steps. And also, her content, Tiffany Weber's content, includes real situations and audience questions through AMA style formats. Okay, so this is really cool because it allows viewers to understand what really can happen if they don't do certain things, right? So this is really good. So this is Tiffany Weber's content is ideal for you if you are a buyer or seller wanting to understand every legal step in a transaction. If you are a real estate professional eager to avoid legal missteps, if you are a beginning or a seasoned attorney seeking real world case insights, and if you want to get the most from her content, it's just better to subscribe either on YouTube or, let's say, a podcast platforms. I'll speak about podcasting later on. And you can also submit questions and case dilemmas via comment or AMA session. So this is really cool. Or you can sign up for notifications. New legal breakdowns and interviews are posted regularly. So I want to talk to you now about the podcast. So if you think about the real estate lawyer with Tiffany Weber, you need to understand that her podcast is pretty popular, and she had podcasts on Spotify, on Apple Podcast, on Podbean and other platforms. Okay, and the cool thing about her, so on those podcasting platforms, her podcast is called the Real Estate Lawyer Podcast. Sometimes it's referred to as the Real Estate Show. Okay, so it's the same thing. Okay, she does everything from her studio in North Carolina. Okay, from her studio there, or sometimes you will see her in her office. So, like I said before, she is the founder of Thomas and Weber Law in Morrisville, North Carolina. So she will record some videos from her office. Okay, but the cool thing is overall, what you love about Tiffany Weber's content is that she's constantly demystifying legal processes in real estate with clarity and humor. So that's really cool. So on the podcast, you have solo episodes, you have guest interviews, you have listener Q&A. So in other words, Tiffany Weber is answering real legal questions submitted via social or YouTube. And you also have a case studies. So here you have real world closing issues or disputes that become that are really dissected for key lessons. So this is really fantastic. And also, you are able to cover a few categories on her podcast. Namely, you have contracts, so how to interpret key clauses, contingencies, and disclosures. Closings, what happened at a real estate closing, delays, fees, and title transfers. Due diligence, so I'm speaking here about inspections, surveys, environmental issues, liens, and zoning. Real estate litigation, so boundary disputes, contracts breaches, and litigation process. And you also have professional roles, so what realtors, attorneys, lenders, and title companies really do. And you also have, from time to time, you have legal tips for investors, so LLC formation, assignment contract, wholesaling, legality. So that's kind of important. So this podcast is really for home buyers and sellers. Okay, it's also for realtors and brokers, investors and flippers, attorneys and training. So this is kind of cool, especially when it comes to functionality at a very deep level. So let me talk to you about monetization here. So if you think about the real estate lawyer, first of all, I like to say that Tiffany Weber is a pretty knowledgeable in her is a pretty knowledgeable professional in her niche. Okay, which is real estate law primarily. So she makes money through law firm lead generation. This is the primary monetization. What this means is that she's getting clients from her YouTube channel and podcast. She's getting leads, not clients, leads. Okay, people see her on YouTube, or people see her actually. People hear her or listen to her through her podcast, and when they need her for a transaction where they believe that she has expertise, they will actually reach out to her. Excuse me. They will reach out to her. Excuse me. So, law firm lead generation is her primary monetization. Okay, this is the most significant revenue driver this year. So basically, the YouTube channel is purpose built as a content funnel to attract clients to Thomas and Weber P LLC in her North Carolina real estate law firm. Viewers and listeners in North Carolina are prompted to contact her firm for closings, title issues, or legal consultations. And the trust is built through a free, high-quality content, which really increases conversion from audience to paying clients. So the tactics used when it comes to this layer of monetization are pretty impressive, because we have website and phone number links in every episode or video description, right? So she's there in your face, so to speak, telling clients, hey, listen, give me a call if you need it. You have clear CTAs, like if you're closing in North Carolina, reach out to our office. And you have showcases, like you have a model that showcases her knowledge through real client examples, positioning her as an expert. So this is kind of cool. So law firm lead generation is her primary monetization, but you also have YouTube monetization. So here I'm speaking about earnings through Google AdSense. So she has about 87,000 subs as of the date of this show. So chances are she's monetized, that's for sure. And given how popular she is, chances are she's basically generating tens of thousands of dollars in AdSense revenue every single month. Okay, so this is pretty good. This is really another great source of revenue for her. So you also have podcast monetization options. Okay, so Weber may or may not run currently ads. Okay, but she can monetize the podcast in several ways. So you have sponsorships and brand partnerships. You have affiliate links. Okay, and one thing I want to say is that legal niches tend to have a higher CPMs. So ad revenue per 1,000 views may be above average. Okay, this is important. And when I say sponsorships and brand partnerships, you can have sponsorship from title companies, mortgage lenders, legal tech platforms, and insurance providers. And this can include a short ad reads at the beginning. Like, for instance, this episode is brought to you by blah, 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 or sponsored Q&A segments, or also discounts or referral links for her services. So besides sponsorships and brand partnerships, you can also have affiliate links. So recommending real estate services, CRMs, contract tools. CRM stands for Client Relationship Management software tools. You have continuing education platforms via trackable affiliate URLs. And Tiffany Weber, or at least her show, could earn a commission per lead or sale, even with low integration to preserve trust. Okay. You also have educational products and workshops. So here you have a potential expansion that Tiffany Weber's team is actually contemplating. So this is something they will be doing it in the next few months and years. Okay. So there is actually for her, she at least that's what she has come up with. She has come to realize that there is strong monetization potential through scalable legal education, such as digital downloads, so contract review templates, real estate due diligence checklists, DIY closing guides, okay, or online courses, so legal basics for realtors, understanding real estate contracts, and also offering those courses via Teachable, Thinkific, or her own site. And you also have continuing legal education, so courses for attorneys or agents licensed in her state of North Carolina. Other ways Tiffany Weber actually monetizes her content is through speaking engagements and media appearances, and finally through client retention and referrals. Let me explain. So when I say speaking engagements and media appearances, by establishing herself as a thought leader, Tiffany can charge for speaking at real estate conferences, and chances are she does it right now, and she does it at a very high level. She can charge also for guest lectures for legal education programs, and she can charge also for panel appearances on national real estate or legal forums, legal platforms. You also have client retention and referrals. So every listener or viewer is a potential referral partner. So realtors might send her clients closings after watching and closing, or listening, not just watching but also listening. And also buyers and sellers in North Carolina may choose her over a random attorney. So this type of warm lead nurturing through content is incredibly effective and cost efficient, especially in the long run. So in summary, I'm showing this to you on the screen here. Here is the monetization strategy, or the monetization recap stands for Tiffany Weber. So here's the method, the revenue type, and the status. So right now you can see that she's just monetizing through a law firm client acquisition and YouTube ads. Okay, but the chances are she will soon do a podcast sponsorships, affiliate links, digital products, CLE or courses, and speaking engagements. So as a coda into this conversation, I was just talking to you about the real estate lawyer. I spoke to you about the host and credentials, YouTube, her podcast, her monetization efforts, but also the coda. Thank you so much. God bless you. I will see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.